All right. So, good morning and welcome everybody to another edition of the Luxdates First Date Kit. Today, I'm very happy to welcome my special guest for today. It's David Dutch Holland. Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Extremely well. Thank you. If on lockdown, but we're surviving. We haven't killed each other yet, so we're all right.
Well, we get to that later. Do you first want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Claudia. So I'm David, David Dutch Holland, and I live with Lynn, my wife. We've been together for nearly just over 40 years now. We live in Metz in France. We're from the UK originally, and we spent some time over in the US, living out of Nevada. And we run our coaching training business out of Luxembourg. And
right.
Here we are working with Claudia as well. So that's me in a nutshell. In a nutshell.
What's the name of the business?
It's results rules okay. I'm in the office on lockdown, so you can see all the bits and pieces around. The company's results rules okay, which we got the name from some graffiti we actually saw on a bridge in Metz when we first moved here from the US. And we saw this graffiti, and somebody had written in English on a French railway bridge, and they put Metz rules okay. And I wondered, do they actually know what that means? I mean, anyway, it just stuck with us. So when we thought about the company, we knew the results were important, and we thought, well, we'll use the graffiti from the bridge. So that's where it came from.
Ah, thank you for clearing up that question. I'm sure a lot of people had wondered where that name came from. So you're in France. The lockdown orders in France are very strict. On a level of 0 to 10, how are you doing?
Good. I think it is quite unusual. Obviously, this situation is very unusual. I spend a lot of my time in the office working over video, Skype and GoToMeeting and Zoom anyway. So the actual way we're running the business, the location has changed, but the way we do it hasn't. No, I think the restrictions are quite tight. We have to have as the French do, lots of paperwork. We have to have a form to carry around with us. So we can go to the shops, we can go to the doctors, and that's about it, basically. But no, it's strange, you know. I mean, we're coping okay. But I went shopping yesterday, and I'm the nominated shopper this week. And it was like looking forward to some exotic holiday. Actually, going to the supermarket was like a big adventure. It was like, wow, I'm allowed out. So we did that, and that was quite exciting. But apart from that, no, we're good. We're okay. It's very strange, unusual circumstances, but yeah, we're getting through all right.
Yeah. So I remember being at an event a couple of years ago. It feels like years ago. It was weeks ago, and it now sounds completely ludicrous saying that you went to an event. It's like, are you mad?
Exactly.
But we were joking there, and this was before everything became really serious in a matter of 24 hours. And we were joking and saying, oh, there will be lots of babies in 9 months. Yeah. Now, as we're reading the news and also watching social media and see how many people are distressed, I think there will be a lot of divorces after this is over. Are you ready to get a divorce yet?
Well, I don't have permission for that. I have asked for some number of times. I haven't been given the permission for that. It was interesting, just on that sort of note. I think people are under a lot of pressure. We need to, we do sort of make light of it, but it is a serious situation.
Yeah. Yes.
I remember when we were out of the bunker, and this was probably about 12 months ago, we had a workshop, an event, and we were talking about relationships. And Lynn is normally with me, as you know. And this lady said she had a question from the audience, and she said, "I've got a question for Lynn." And she said, "Over all the years you've been together, have you ever considered separation and divorce?" And Lynn sort of sat there and she thought about it, and she said, no, murder, yes, but never divorce." And I think that's probably many a true word, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I think this lockdown does amplify any emotion, whether it's happiness and highlights, or it's depression and stress.
Yeah.
It's incredibly tense.
Yeah.
And I think it's tough to deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, we're finding our own path through it. I'm sure you guys are, but yeah, it's tough out there at the moment.
Yeah. We really want to hear about your secrets for a successful marriage a little bit later. But tell us a little bit how you met and how long you've been together, how long you've been married.
Gosh, a long time ago. We first met when we were at school, high school in
Wow.
Warwickshire over in the UK. And Lynn is older than me by just a couple of years. And I was only 13 or 14 or something like that. And the first time I came across Lynn was, she was taller than me then. Lynn's not very tall, as you know. And I was only, say, 13. And she threw me out of the library. She was head librarian, and which had that, for a 13-year-old, librarians are quite an attractive proposition. Anyway,
Ooh.
so I was thrown out of the library by this older librarian lady. And so I knew her from the age of 13. And we actually met or got together properly on the college bus. We both went to college after high school. I was 16 when we sort of met properly, and we were on the bus, so we knew of each other. And
Yeah.
we sat next to each other on the school bus. And what she did, and I've never forgiven her for this, was I had a scarf, a college scarf, and it was and she took it off. She got off the bus, the stop before I got off. And she took my scarf and walked off, and I had to follow her to get the scarf back. And in hindsight, that's what you call entrapment, isn't it?
Yes.
So I was trapped. So I followed her home, got the scarf back, and never been apart since, basically. So it was at high school. We met at high school, and then I was 16, and Lynn was 18. So an 18-year-old's a very good catch for a 16-year-old, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
And we met on the college bus, and been together ever since.
Wow. And I like the fact that she made the first move, and she was daring, stealing. So she didn't drop the handkerchief, she took the scarf.
No, absolutely. No, she stole my scarf. Yeah, and I was most concerned about it, actually. But yeah, in hindsight, but I mean, Lynn is you know Lynn quite well anyway. But and typical of a lot of women, I think she's a strong character, strong personality, knows her own mind, as I know. And you know, but she made the first move. Obviously, she chose very well. She has very good taste. But no, she made the first move, and I think, you know, I spoke to Lynn about us having this conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
And said, look, you know, just out of interest, it is to just reflect. And she said, I just knew, I knew you were the one. So she knew before I knew, I think.
Yeah.
And I was sort of targeted, selected, wherever it was.
Yeah.
But she just knew, for some reason she knew, and then I sort of agreed with her as we went along.
That's great. So how did you know that she was the one?
I'll be careful what I say. It wasn't instant. Genuinely, it wasn't instant. I don't think it was love at first sight. Lynn, but when we first met, I was doing some college work, but Lynn was in the beauty therapy department. She was doing hair and makeup and massage and all this sort of thing. And she used to wear one of these little white outfits that, you know, beauty therapists wear. So it wasn't love at first sight. It was lust at first sight.
Yeah.
Anyway, so but what happened then? Within about 6 months of that, I got on a training program with Royal Ordnance over in the UK, and I moved away from the village.
Yeah.
Only getting home at weekends. So I was away during the week and only home at weekends, which is tough for a couple of teenagers.
Yeah.
I was only sort of 16 when I left home.
Yeah.
And I think when we realized we didn't drift apart, we got closer together with the distance.
Yeah.
And only seeing each other at weekends, and we missed each other during the week. And that's when I knew, after a few months of that, I suppose, there was something that was special, more special than that I thought. So that sort of test of separation was very interesting for us, because it would have been ever so easy to drift apart then. It classically happens when you go to college, university, whatever. But no, it didn't. It actually brought us closer together. So I think when we realized we got brought closer together in spite of the separation, that's when the penny dropped on me that there was something special there.
That's a beautiful story. I love that story that you made it work.